The Avalanche take on the Capitals, 7 p.m. Eastern puck drop this Tuesday. Washington is minus 135, total 6. And if you like betting on football, we're 6-0 in our last 6 NFL tier package picks on BrockPage.com. We're also 3-0 in our last 3 college football tier package picks on that very same website. We currently have over 830 members who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website. And once again, that's BrockPage.com. Now, Ilya Samsonov's the expected starter in net for Washington. Darcy Kemper for Colorado. Kemper's got a .310 goals against average through a couple of games. Certainly not the best of starts for the veteran goaltender. Colorado is also coming off a 5-3 loss to St. Louis. Landeskog and McKinnon, they're out. Johnson's questionable. They're taking on a Washington team who's allowed only 3 total goals through 2 contests thus far on the year themselves. They're also giving up just 24 shots on goal a game as well, certainly doing a good job on the defensive end of the ice. Meanwhile, offensively, Alex Ovechkin has 5 total points thus far in the year. When it comes to the total in this one, 7 out of Washington's last 10 meetings with Colorado got over the number. Meanwhile, the Avalanche are 2-0 to the over, depending on where you're shopping at. I'm going to lean toward Washington, minus 135, and the over 6. Next contest, it is going to be Stars versus the Penguins, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Pittsburgh's minus 135, totals 5.5. Tristan Jarry for the Pens, Braden Holtby for Dallas. The Stars are on a 2-game losing streak, and they're struggling to put the puck in the net. They're averaging just 2 goals a game, and their second leading points getter, he's a -1. They're also taking on a Pittsburgh team who's won 2 of 3 to start the season, and they're certainly having little problems scoring without their stars. Despite the absence of Crosby, Malkin, and Rust, Pittsburgh scored 15 total goals through 3 contests, and they also average 36 offensive shots on goal a game, giving themselves plenty of opportunities to put that puck in the net. Danton Heinen, he's got 3 goals thus far in the season. Letang and Carter with 4 total points themselves. Meanwhile, defensively, Marino and Pettersson are both +5. Now, goaltender Tristan Jarry, he's officially 2-0 between the pipes this year. 2.00 goals against average, 917 save percentage. When it comes to the total in this one, the Pens are 3-0 to the over thus far in the season. I'm going to lean toward Pittsburgh, minus 135, and the over 5.5. Next contest, Panthers Lightning, 7 p.m. Eastern puck drop. Tampa Bay's minus 160, number 6.5. Andrei Vasilevsky for Tampa, Sergei Bobrovsky for Florida. Now, Bobrovsky's 2-0 with a 248 goals against average and a 935 save percentage. The Panthers have also scored 10 total goals through 2 contests. They're led by Sam Bennett, who's got 3 goals thus far in the year. Gus Forsling is also leading the club. He's a +5. They're taking on a Tampa team who's in the bottom 10 in goals allowed. Andrei Vasilevsky, he's off to an uncharacteristic start this year. He's got a 324 goals against average and an 890 save percentage. Very early in the year, so I'm sure that'll turn around. But thus far, not having a great start to the season. Now, Nikita Kucherov, he's also questionable with a lower body injury. When it comes to the number, 2 out of Tampa's last 3 contests got over the line. Florida's 2-0 to the over in their last couple of games themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Florida Panthers, plus 135, and the over 6.5. Next matchup, Sharks versus the Canadiens, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Montreal's minus 130, numbers 5.5. Jake Allen for Montreal, Aiden Hill for San Jose. The Sharks won their opener over Winnipeg by the final of 4-3. Weatherby and Hurdle each had a goal apiece, and they finished the game with 2 points each. Now they're taking on a winless Montreal team who lost their first 3 contests of 2021. The Habs are having serious problems offensively. They've scored just 3 total goals through 3 games this year. As a matter of fact, Montreal is officially dead last in the league in scoring. Now, total-wise, 6 out of these teams' last 10 meetings fell under the line. Meanwhile, Montreal's 2-1 to the under thus far in the season. I'm going to lean toward San Jose plus $1.10 and the under 5.5. Next contest, Kraken Devils, 7 o'clock East. Now, this game's currently off the board. Kraken has a game Monday night, so game's currently off the board for Tuesday. Now, Chris Driedger's possible for Seattle. Mackenzie Blackwood possible for New Jersey. The Devils won their opener against Chicago by the final of 4-3. Jack Hughes had a pair of goals in the win. Ryan Graves was a +4. Jersey is going to be taking on a Seattle team who, like I said, they're going to be in the second of a back-to-back, probably going to be pretty gassed. I'm going to lean toward the Devils winning this one outright for some money line cash. Next contest, Canucks Sabres, 7 o'clock East. Vancouver's minus $1.25, number 6. Thatcher Demko for Vancouver. Dustin Tokarski for Buffalo. Now, Tokarski's officially got a .92 goals against average and a .952 save percentage. The 2-0 Sabres have allowed only 2 goals through a couple of games, and they rank in the top 3 in fewest defensive shots on goal. They're taking on a Vancouver team who lost 2 of 3 to start the year. The Canucks are also dead last in the league in first period scoring. And speaking of the scoring in this one, 2 out of Vancouver's last 3 games stayed under the number. I'm going to lean toward Buffalo plus 105 and the under 6. Next contest, Columbus versus Detroit, 7:30 p.m. Eastern puck drop. Detroit's minus 130, number 6. The Red Wings are averaging only 23 shots on goal through 2 games. They're also dead last in the league in defensive shots on goal as well. Alex Nedeljkovic comes into Tuesday's start with an .854 save percentage. They're taking on a Columbus team who's 2-0 thus far in the season. They lead the league in scoring on average per game. Oliver Bjorkstrand, has a pair of goals thus far in the season. Max Domi's a +4 when he's on the ice as well. Meanwhile, defensively, Elvis Merzlikins has a 1.48 goals against average and a .948 save percentage. Now, when it comes to the number in this one, 7 out of these teams' last 10 meetings fell under the total. I'm going to lead toward Columbus plus $1.10 and the under 6. Next game, Kings Predators, 8 o'clock East. Nashville's minus 155, totals 5.5. UC Saros for the Preds, Cal Peterson for Los Angeles. Peterson's got a .200 goals against average and a .920 save percentage. LA's allowing just 27 shots on goal a game. Meanwhile, offensively, LA's in the top 5 in offensive shots on goal per game as well. Anji Kopitar has 4 goals thus far in the season, 7 total points for the center. Meanwhile, Drew Doty's leading the team with 5 total assists on the year as well. They're taking on a winless Nashville club who lost their first 2 games of the season, and they're in the bottom 3 in first period goals allowed. I'm going to lean toward the Kings plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 goals. Next contest, Islanders Blackhawks, 8 p.m. Eastern start time. New York's minus $1.15, totals 5.5. Varlamov for the Islanders, Fleury for the Blackhawks. And the change of scenery has not been good for Marc-Andre Fleury. He's 0-2 with an .826 save percentage. Maybe the Golden Knights, they were on to something, getting rid of him. I mean, he was playing pretty well for them. But anyway, the Blackhawks, they're winless in 3 games this year. Seemingly was a great pickup for Chicago, but winless in 3 games. They're dead last in first period goals allowed. They're taking on an Islanders team who hasn't been all too great themselves, although Kyle Palmieri's got himself a couple assists this year, and he's a +1 in that category. Now, Semyon Varlamov should get the start in the net on Tuesday as well. He's coming off a real good season where he had a .204 goals against average and a .929 save percentage. He was very good last year. Now, total-wise, New York's 2-0 to the over on the season. Chicago's 3-0 to the over, depending on where you shopped at. Give me the Islanders minus $1.15, the over 5 and a hook. Next game, Jets Wild, 8 o'clock East. Minnesota's minus 145, numbers 5.5. Cam Talbot for the Wild, Connor Hellebuck for Winnipeg. Hellebuck's officially 0-2 with a .410 goals against average, and an .849 save percentage. The winless Jets are also in the bottom 3 in scoring on average per game. They're taking on a 2-0 Minnesota team who's allowed only 3 total goals on the season. Cam Talbot's officially 2-0 as well, with a 151 goals against average and a .950 save percentage. Minnesota's in the top 10 in fewest third-period goals allowed. When it comes to the total in this one, 6 out of Minnesota's last 9 meetings with Winnipeg stayed under the number. 2-0 to the under thus far in this season as well. I'm going to lean toward Minnesota, -145, and the under 5.5. And with that, guys, now it's time for our next and final matchup. Ducks versus the Oilers, 9 o'clock Eastern start time. Now, this game's currently off the board. Anthony Stolarz for Anaheim, Mike Smith for Edmonton. Smith's 2-0 in net on the season, 192 goals against average, .953 save percentage. The Oilers are in the top 5 in fewest first-period goals allowed. Meanwhile, offensively, Connor McDavid has 3 goals thus far in the season, 5 total points for the center. They're taking on a Ducks team who's going to be on the second of a back-to-back. I'm going to lean toward Edmonton winning this one outright for some money line cash. With that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap, powered to you by my website at brockpage.com. But we are 6-0 in our last 6 NFL tier package picks on that site. I like Washington -135 over 6. Pittsburgh -135 over 5.5. Florida +135 over 6.5. San Jose +110 under 5.5. I like New Jersey winning that one outright for some money line cash. Give me Buffalo +105 under 6. Columbus +110 under 6 goals. LA Kings +1.5 over 5.5. New York Islanders -115 over 5.5. Minnesota -145 under 5.5. And before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 6-0 in our last 6 NFL tier package picks on brockpage.com. We're also 3-0 in our last 3 college football tier package picks on that very same website. Give me the Oilers of Edmonton winning that game outright for some money line cash. And with that, guys, now it's time for our shout-out of the day. And that's going to go to D. Nice, who said earlier this morning, "I like it. Let's get this. I'm so glad NBA is back." Thanks, Brock. And I'll tell you what, D. Nice, I'm glad NBA is back as well. Although we've been doing really well in football. We did great in Major League Baseball this season, so hopefully we can keep that going in NBA. Certainly hate to see those other seasons go away, but NBA is always a great time here on YouTube and on the website. By far our most popular videos collectively, so I'm excited for NBA as well. Now, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today, just keep in mind you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today, you're going to get access to that content all the way through the end of October. I always tell folks the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.